Hello and welcome to Top Stories on Viewer Television. I am Patient CD. The Southern Kaduna People's Union on Friday said the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, should investigate the following of his opposition to the federal government directive on the old 1,500 Naira notes. President Muhammadu Buhari, while addressing the nation, had said that the old 500 and 1,000 Naira notes were no longer legal tender in the country, effective February 17. He, however, said that the old 200 Naira notes continue to be in the use till 10th April 2023, while urging Nigerians to deposit their old 500 and 1,000 Naira notes with the CBN. However, El-Rufai, in a state-wide broadcast on Thursday night, directed residents of the state to continue to use of the old Naira notes pending the determination of the matter, which was before the Supreme Court. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it has presented its cash requirements for prosecuting the forthcoming elections to the Central Bank of Nigeria. As requested by the Apex Bank, it expressed hope that its demand will be met with a positive response. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekami, told reporters in an interview that even though the Commission does most of its payments through online transfer, some specific services had to be paid for in cash. The INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, had recently visited the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele to seek the Apex Bank support towards a hitch-free election, especially with the new policy that had led to the scarcity of the new notes and placed restriction on cash withdrawals. A former special assistant to the president in the office of the First Lady, Zainab Kasim, has filed a suit for the enforcement of her fundamental rights against president's wife, Aisha Buhari, while demanding 100 million as damages from her and other respondents. The other respondents in the case are the Inspector General of Police and the Department of the State Services. Kasim claimed that some Department of State Services officers acting on the orders of Aisha allegedly abducted her and took her to the presidential villa while she was severely assaulted, dehumanized and abused by the First Lady with the support of the officers of the DSS and police for deleting her post on social media. In the suit obtained by newsmen, she asked the court to declare her arrest and detention as unlawful. The case has yet to be assigned to a judge. Now, with China's dropping of its zero-COVID policy, makeshift quarantine centers and testing booths are being repurposed as mini libraries, information points for even housing. Since Beijing suddenly abandoned its hardline virus control measures in December after almost 3 years, cities across China have been left with tens of thousands of the temporary structures. Some of the metal or plastic testing booths that were once ubiquitous symbols of the zero-COVID policy have been found in new life as mini pharmacies, shelters, or information stations. Some booths near the train station have been transformed into information points for new arrivals, offering them job opportunities or legal advice concerning work disputes. Conspiracy theories about a U.S. research station have resurged, with social media users falsely blaming it for the Turkey-Syria earthquakes, following debunked claims it causes weather disaster and spread the coronavirus. Scientists have for the years been refuting claims that the high-frequency active auroral research program, with its Alaska facility boasting 180 radio antennae in a U.S. government-backed program to weaponize the atmosphere and subjugate the population. The series of earthquakes that struck Turkey and Syria on February 6, killing tens of thousands of people, gave rise to a new variant of the theory on social media in various languages. It has been dismissed by experts as science fiction. The Ontario State Ministry of Health says they have recorded 166 suspected cases with 17 deaths from the new outbreak of Lassa fever in the state. The Commissioner of Health, Innocent Vakai, made the statement during a press conference in Jalingo, the capital of the state. And now let's take the report.
While addressing the pressmen, the commissioner states that out of the 166 suspected cases, 60 turned out positive, with 17 people dead, including a Chinese national. Vakai says the statistics, which were obtained from the National Center for Disease Control, was worrisome, which necessitated the press briefing to inform the public about the outbreak of the dangerous disease. He explained that Lassa fever virus is contagious in nature and can be transmitted within a short period of time if contracted. He warned people to stay away from bush rats and other things that are capable of exposing them to the virus.
Based on the statistics that we are having, of the total number of 166 suspected cases and 60 that are confirmed, 17 people have died, which gave us a case fatality rate of almost 25%. So it's way above the normal non-case fatality rate in literature, which is usually within 15 to 17%. And because of the contagious nature of the Lassa fever virus, it has become imperative for me to make this press briefing for the people of Taraba State to be cautious, because the fatality of this disease is very high. So far, we have lost about 17 people since the onset of the outbreak, which include a Chinese national that passed on yesterday. Therefore, it is necessary for us to prevent our people from getting infected with the Lassa fever virus.
The commissioner calls on the public to find precautionary measures through protecting themselves and to stay away from anything that can cause the disease. He advocates that anyone who comes in contact with someone that is diagnosed with the disease should try and go for testing, because Lassa fever, when detected early, could save the life of the person.
We will try our best to ensure that the case fatality is reduced to the barest minimum, and that can only be done by when you see people, be your neighbor or friend, that have symptoms suggestive of Lassa fever. There are other diseases that mimic Lassa fever. Malaria mimic Lassa fever. Typhoid mimic Lassa fever. So the only way you can confirm that it's Lassa fever is when you are tested. Okay, and the earlier you are tested, if you show symptoms, the better.
Vakai further warns medical personnel attending to persons suspected with Lassa fever to protect themselves against the virus, stating that medical personnel have lost their lives while protecting others, which ought not to be so. He calls on the people of the state to remain calm as the government is doing its best to bring down the disease to a barest minimum. Linda Guana, VOA TV News, Jalingo.
And that's all on Top Stories. I am Patient City. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.